Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to another one of my weird little videos. I think today we're gonna look through some more of the toys found in the vintage time capsule that we uncovered, and try to figure out what they are. You know, details are spotty. Some of them are kind of old, kind of weird. But yeah, let's just take a look. First up, we got this guy. Now, I think that this is roughly 1980s. It's kind of, he's got green, he's got these yellow stripes on him. This helmet seems to imply that something else was there and missing. I mean, it's been a while since this thing was out, so it's understandable not everything's here. The helmet comes off though. You can see it's a fairly nicely painted kind of tiger look. This type of animal has been extinct for a while, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to be realistic or more fantasy based, but it's pretty neat overall. I gotta say, it's got a good look to him. Pretty nice. Now, I don't know. I think it's hard to tell because it's very unclear what franchise this was a part of back in those days. It says to me maybe Thundercats. Because he's a cat, but I'm not sure. He was kind of bundled along this guy. This is a kind of barbarian-looking character. He has a sword here, though I think that's supposed to be kind of where the sword goes in the back. I don't know if he had anything else. Probably same era, probably that 1980s era that inspired so many things beyond that. But having lack of historical data, I don't actually know the character's name, but he kind of invokes a powerful sense, like maybe like a He-Man. Like he's a very manly character. That maybe He-Man, and this is a very battle-styled cat, especially with the armor. So maybe Battle Cat. I think that's probably what I'm gonna go with. He probably can ride Battle Cat, but he doesn't quite stay on. So it kind of implies that maybe there was a harness at some point. Let's put this sword back here. Oh, I think the sword actually splits. Oh, yeah, that's kind of a miracle that survived all this time. Interesting. Yeah, I guess the sword splits in half. That explains the kind of weird colors. But yeah, it's kind of our first one. It's kind of fun. I mean, you can kind of like pose them. Which is pretty cool. So you can see you got actual range of movement. Got pretty cool action poses there. Pretty awesome. Yeah, that's our first one. So that's I'm gonna call him He-Man and Battle Cat. So let's pull them aside and go to the next thing. Found this guy. Not entirely certain, but I think this might be a Sentai Ranger. I think it was a toy line. There might have been a TV show back in the day. With the media destruction of the eras especially in the 2000th century, it's hard to even find what some of this stuff came from, because it's just corporations bought everything. They eventually went to war over it, and all this media was lost. So I'm not exactly sure. He's got kind of like this cool animal jaw thing going on. This may not be his accessory, because there's no star. There's no like distinguishing feature on him. This kind of invokes maybe a 1970s vibe. I'm kind of getting off of him, but I do remember something in the history books about Sentai Rangers. It was something that lasted a very long time, and honestly, for good reason. He looks cool. Kind of got like sort of a lion thing going on. So I'm gonna go with calling him like Galactic Man Red. I'm gonna go with that. Just a wild guess on that one. Yeah. Speaking of people, we do know this one. One of the torchbearers of the Disney Corporation that now owns pretty much like half the cities in most of the world. So he is recognizable in that. They carried him forward. I believe his name is Boba Fett. I think that got pushed around. I'm not entirely certain. It's that the helmet's giving me that Boba Fett kind of vibe, but I'm not, 100% certain what he is. But I really like his whole deal. He kind of fits our times. He's got kind of a rustic look, sort of mismatched on his armor. This guy kind of gathered whatever he could find, and wherever. And yeah, I think that this definitely seems like one of those long-standing characters. I'm pretty sure I've seen this helmet displayed on several buildings, especially over in Europe. That seems to be kind of where Disney took that design. They won't exactly tell us where that design came from or what it is. They just kind of start putting it on stuff, and just kind of became a thing. So I'm thinking this is Boba Fett. I could be wrong, but without access to Star Wars, which has been locked away to only the rich and powerful, like the very rich can access it, and no one else can, just because we can't afford to. They charge too much. But anyways, that's what I think that is. I also found this guy. He seems to be mostly complete. That's just my guess because he doesn't look like he's missing anything. I think this might be a mummy man. He's got kind of like the bandage look to him. The fact that he's made out of glow in the dark plastic, which is something that, wow, that was a very long time ago that was legal. So glow in the dark plastic just kind of gave this cool effect. I can kind of show it with let me see if I can turn a light off. See if that kind of it's still too bright. You can sort of see him glowing a little bit. It's kind of got a glow in the dark vibe going to it. So maybe there's rumors there used to be this thing called mail-aways for toys. So maybe he was a mail-away. Same 1980s kind of vibe. But he looks pretty cool. He's kind of like a Mumm-Ra. I'm kind of feeling Mumm-Ra-y on him. So that's kind of neat. Yeah, and I think we got a couple more here. This was the startling discovery. Is in the time capsule were carded figures, which, as we know, with the erasure of a lot of media and history, carded figures are absolutely valuable to understanding our past. So we have, this is the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, a Marvel Legends Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers doesn't sound like a normal superhero name. Maybe that's her, like, civilian name. I can see it was made by Kenner. Kenner, of course, a name within a lot of rebellious groups to time gone by. But it also mentions Hasbro. And Hasbro, we should all know in current days, is become kind of one of the corporations that's been in a lot of the corporate wars, but haven't been as successful. So I wonder if this is Hasbro using Kenner's name to sort of trick people into thinking that this is something, classic and iconic. But, other than that, we've got, kind of a bio. Carol Danvers, soaring through the sky. Carol Danvers flies with superhuman strength and speed. In the fight to save the world, she's the hero we need. And then it features it in multiple languages, which is pretty cool. I'm making this video in English, so I'm not going to read the others, but it's there. So yeah, Carol Danvers, I don't know what your superhero name is, but I like you. You're cool. Pretty neat. And then this other one, we have Fantastic Four Human Torch. It looks like, a person after the last nuclear fallout. Yeah, that's it's kind of a Maybe this was done prior. It looks like a copyright is 2021. Even though these look much older than that, they do have a 2021 copyright. Let's see. Human Torch, day or night, the fantastic Human Torch lights up the sky. In the battle against evil, for justice he will fly. Yeah, that seems pretty straightforward. Seems like he can light himself on fire, or he is living fire. Either way, kind of neat. This could give us a little bit of an insight into a couple lost characters. So that's pretty cool. I will definitely marvel at these legends, if that's what they are. And then lastly, we have kind of a weird little thing. It's an ancient piece of technology. This is, I don't know exactly what it is. It does say Bandai on the back. And so I'm assuming this is an original. It's got a key ring on it, which those were outlawed when I think they became a choking hazard at some point. And then those were just outlawed. Like, keychains were just, at some point, you couldn't have this anymore. Like, how you can't keep your keys together. And then also, you know, over time, why do we need keys? We've got, you know, body parts that can do that for us. But this little thing here, when you turn it on, it has a little screen. It's a very weak screen. You can barely see it. It looks like there's a little creature here, and it's pooped all over the screen. And I've discovered, you kind of mess around with it, this button sort of clears the poop away, and then it looks happy. But then it goes back to looking sad, and then doing that, I think, helps it, maybe. It looks sad. It's so sad. I don't know why it just keeps screaming at me. I thought the bandage would be kind of like the ancient ways of medicine, where you bandage a wound. And then clicking here, it gives me the name of Mumm-Ra, I think is what its name's supposed to be. It's pretty much the only thing with standard text there. You can also feed it, and then I think it threw up. I don't know what just happened. I don't know if it's happy or angry. So this just seems like a cruder version of digital animals like we have nowadays. This just seems like the precursor to that. It's like a digital, maybe like a little bit of a monster. It's kind of like a little slug monster. It's a Mumm-Ra was the name. So Mumm-Ra, maybe it's a Digimon. I'm gonna go with Digimon. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I hope you enjoyed this. This was kind of a weird little video, I know, but it's just something that, you know, as we've continued forward as a society, upwards or downwards, that's a personal opinion thing, it's interesting how much of the history of our fun times has gone away. This is, finding things like this in a time capsule is something that should remind us that there used to be times where we were allowed to have fun, and it wasn't outlawed. Like, it seems like ever since we hit the year 3000, fun just became outlawed by all the corporations, unless you could pay for it. Affordable fun just doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. And yeah, so I hope that this brought you a little bit of joy. I know it's kind of strange. I wish I had more data, but you know, the nuclear fallout of 2500 just wiped out so much history, and anything that was remaining pretty much gets buried by the corporations nowadays. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, you know, stay tuned. There'll be other videos in the future. But yeah, until hopefully a better day, this is Soundout2112 saying goodbye. Well, that was depressing. So, alternate universe version of me, who's a common writer, travels through time and space. Why'd you show me this? Soundout2112 is one of possible future versions of you. Whether it's you or not, or somebody that wants to be you, you gotta keep going. You gotta remind people why everything that you love that's in this room, that's in this world, is important. That makes somewhat sense, I guess? And with that, I must take my leave. Alternate versions of me always seem to disappear quite quickly around here. That much hasn't changed in 12 years. See you in the next video.